up, everyone? This is the Manifest and Succeed Show. I'm your host, Brett Pogoda. Today we've got a very special guest, Gregory Salmon, entrepreneur, attorney, and author. Welcome aboard, brother.
Hey, man, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's dive into this. So tell me and the viewers a little bit about your story and how you got brought up into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, man. So, grew up, mom, dad, grew up in inner city Rochester. I don't know if you noticed, man, but, I wrote a book from GED to law degree because I actually, dropped out of high school, and, I just kind of decided to try to make the bounce back. I can see it in your eye too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I gotta ask about that.
Ask,
sure. And I made the bounce back, and I eventually became an attorney. So that's where I am right now today.
Interesting, man. Yeah, you're definitely an interesting cat. Want to know more about you and your story. So, how did you evolve from like the beginning, getting a GED to where you're at now? Tell us a little bit about how you got from A to B.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I can't really pinpoint a particular moment in time when, things just started to click, but I just, put that one foot in front of the other and just continue to like progress on and move forward, When I dropped out, I kind of looked at the situation like, man, this could be the end of me, or I could just try to reach like the pinnacle of success, even from where I am right now. Sure. And so that's what made me say, you know what, I'm about to get a doctorate degree. Just, not just an associate's or a bachelor's or a master's, which is good that, people get that or whatever. But just for me, I'm like, I got to get a doctorate. Yeah, so that's what I did, man.
I see you. So, I think when I first caught wind of you, I went to Matt Druin's Burr real estate meetup this time last year. And I was like, God, I got to get to know that dude. You were hustling your book at that time. And
yeah, absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about your book and what that's all about.
Yeah, so it's from GED to law degree. It's a memoir about my snapshot in time about my life during that period. It's not my whole life because I'm still making my story, But I started a small publishing company to get my book out there. And, I use that actually as one of my revenue streams, royalty income, And I decided to write this book to kind of chronicle the journey that I went through. It's really meant to, just hope, uplift people and give them hope, and aspire to actually be able to do better and experience better in their lives,
Admirable, man. Admirable. Where did you go to school to get your degree?
So my law degree I got from the University of Detroit Mercy.
Okay.
I got my undergrad from St. John Fisher College here in Rochester. Sure. Actually not too far from here.
Right.
And MCC as well. I got an associate's from there. So.
Hell yeah. So I know that you represented Judge Estacio in.
Yeah. That was a few years ago now. That was a little while ago now.
So you're a heavy hitter with what you do.
Yeah. I mean, we did what we could, and we were on and we were off.
Got
but
you.
We did what we could, and I'm glad to see that she's been able to turn things around for herself a bit.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So tell me a bit about your lifestyle. What do you like to do for like fun and shit? When you got the time?
Man. This might sound funny, but like for fun now, man, like I like to put my friends on with opportunities to make money. Like that's what I do for fun, man. Like seeing like people just go from one aspect of their lives, one place in their life, and they just like, oh man, like you put me onto that, and now they here, man. Like I enjoy this. I just enjoy seeing that. Yeah. Like for real. Like I have friends, that have various companies and things of that nature, man. I show you the group chat, man. That's what we talking about, man. Yo, let's look at this stock play right here, let me look at this here. Let me look at this here. That's really what we do. That's what we do for fun,
All day. Yeah, that's just like what it's like to be an entrepreneur. It's just like it don't stop, man. And like that's your hobby. Is right. And passion is all money and business related, and that's
Absolutely.
what like really gets me going too. So that's why I had you here today.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your ensemble. What it like, tell us a little bit about what you got.
Yeah, man, I got the the Gucci velour on, got the rabbit, it's kind of a little brisk outside, got the fox on, so it's something like.
A little something, yeah.
Something like.
Dope.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about?
Well, I just kind of I wanted to kind of say this, you know, it's like people ask me all the time, yo, what do you do though?
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you do? You know, I mean, I have various titles, if you will, right? I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I have various titles, right? Lean Six Sigma black belt, attorney, author, investment analyst, financial analyst, you know, dad, you know, but really when I really just kind of distill it all down, break it all down, you know, people should have, I feel like if you're a serious entrepreneur or you own a small business, even if you own a big business, you're a CEO, like you should have your elevator pitch, you know, people should know like real quick, what do you do? You know,
exactly.
I empower business owners, you know, to become millionaires and bring joy to their customers. Real simple, super simple.
Got you.
You know,
yep.
I've broken into accountability coaching, and business coaching. And like, I find joy in this, man, you know, because it's just like seeing people just have an idea, you know, I want to do this. And it's just like, all right, I have this regimented step. There are other business owners, right, that I've represented over the years, you know?
Yeah.
And they've encountered many problems, and it's like it's regimented at this point. It's the same kind of problems over and over. If you're in real estate, you know, I need the cloud title because this deal went awry.
Sure.
Throw liens on this. I need to get liens off of this. I need to, you know, we need to structure financing for this and that. And I mean, even if it's a business, we need to purchase this. We need a banking relationship here. Just all kinds of stuff. Gotcha. And what I've done is I've just kind of formulaically created these different packages and ideas into something where it's like I could give it to the common person that's just starting out, and it's like, well, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I start this? How do I start that? And I'm like, you know what? Just take these steps. Lay it all out. Yep. Take these steps. You'll be fine. My first, I guess you could say, entrepreneurial venture.
Yeah.
I have bought a janitorial services franchise, you know, like a cleaning business, you know, and I didn't have employees at first. So here I am, whole lawyer, law degree, everything, you know, and I'm cleaning bathrooms and everything. But, you know, what's important is like you got to learn the process when you're doing that, too, because if I go to hire somebody, I need to know how long it really takes to do this kind of stuff. How much, you know, equipment it takes to do this stuff, how much, you know, cleaning supplies and solution it takes to do this stuff too, because, you know, people sometimes don't have, you know, your best interest or your business's best interest in mind when they working for you. You know, people have their own motivations sometimes. And so, you know, understanding that and knowing that it was a humbling experience for me, but it did allow me to scale up and ultimately sell my business, which is, something that I'm very proud of.
You should be proud of that. What'd you cash in at, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't disclose it actually because it's a franchise, and you know they don't really like that too much because you know it can get people thinking, you know, get ideas and kind of frustrate the purpose of the people who have the territories around here and such. So they don't really like us to do, and I'm gonna honor that. You know, they don't really want us disclosing that kind of stuff, but it's cool. You know, it's the lawyer in me too. Because if I wasn't a lawyer, I probably would have been like, X number. You know.
So like, how has that cross collaboration of knowing law like helped you in other aspects in your life? If you don't mind me asking, like, the ins and outs of things.
Well, you know, the honest answer is this, man. Just because you're a lawyer, and if any lawyer ever told you otherwise, just know they're lying, right? Like, I don't know every law, you know? No lawyer does, you know? But for the aspects of law that I do know, I see it seep into my life, creep into my life in every aspect of it, you know? When I'm driving, you know, and it's like, am I being a reasonable and prudent driver right now? You know what I mean? You know, some of my friends are like, "Oh man, he's a Debbie Downer" sometimes because it's like, "Hey, let's go out for drinks," and I'm like, "I'm designated driver, man. I'm not out here drinking," you know. But you know, it's a small sacrifice though for the life that I get to have, for the blessed life that I get to have, and for the freedom that I get to have. It's a small sacrifice, you know. I can drink at home.
So like when you started coming up and really starting to see like your progression, did you have to scale back from like going out on the weekends and like stuff like that and like cut all ties with some sort of like folks you used to hang with and stuff? Like, how's that go?
That's such a great question, man. And I'll say too, because growing up in the hood, a lot of your friends, that's like another brother to you, a cousin, and yeah, when you are trying to make it to another level, it pains you sometimes that you like, you know what? I can't hang out with them anymore. I'm trying to get to this point, and they kind of at this point, like, and people, they'll ridicule you, oh, you changed up, you this, you that, and I don't look at it like I changed. No, I ain't changed. I transformed.
Straight up.
We should all transform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And to those who trying, I try, but that's really all I can do, man. Yeah, I've lost a lot of friends, if you will. Sure. But I don't mind, man. I'd rather this than be there and doing nothing.
Yeah, likewise, man. I don't think I'm to that level yet, but like I'm starting to really cut ties with people who don't really serve me in the same purpose as they used to.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I try to reach back when I can, because it's like, sometimes people just need that empowerment.
Yep.
And I know that I can be influential like that because I know it means a lot for people to see where I've come. They go, oh, yo, that's possible, man. Yeah. Like, oh, he did that. Oh, yeah, like I could do that too, and to the extent that I could be that for people, that's what I want to do. Well, I wanted to ask you though, you know what drives people?
I mean, honestly,
I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, now tables turned a little bit. I mean, it all depends on what you want in life, man. I mean, I don't know specifically, but like if you're trying to like get financially free, like maybe passive income would be your,
absolutely.
Your
right.
CeeLo.
So it's like, I take a focus, into the motivation of people. And I mean, you can ask really anybody around that like really tries to understand the psychology of people.
Okay.
We're motivated really by one or two things: pain or pleasure.
I've heard that before. Now that makes sense. Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to buy my way out of something, pain. I'm trying to avoid pain, or I'm trying to buy my way into something. I'm trying to gain pleasure. And so I think a lot of times for people who are trying to manifest, right, and get that success, like, here's a gym for you, right? Which side of the spectrum are you on? Are you trying to bring people pleasure, or are you trying to help people avoid pain, right? As a coach, right, I kind of try to do both. But what did I say to you? I said I empower people to become millionaires, right, and help them bring joy to their customers, right? So it's like, okay, I'm helping people gain that millionaire. That's definitely pleasure, right? Gain that millionaire status, right? And bring joy, right? Bring pleasure to their own customer. I feel like if people focused on that, they could definitely tap in a lot to like, that manifesting the success that they really want.
Yeah, that's cool that you believe and know about manifesting and like how that stuff comes to fruition. Man, it's such a mindset and like taking action on top of it, writing stuff down, being crystal clear about your goals.
You ever heard of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles?
No, I'll have to check that out.
Oh, man, you gotta buy the book. You gotta buy that book, man. He has a what I call is like a get rich formula. Okay. It's kind of long, so I'm not going to read it here or whatever. But basically, he breaks down formulaically through the chapters, like what you need to do in order to literally get rich.
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about making money on the competitive plane versus the creative plane, right?
Cool.
So like people, they go in business and they like, yo, you could operate on the competitive plane or the creative plane. The competitive plane is like, keep them out, right? I'm competing. Have the lowest price. Have the this. Have the that. Make it so that they can't compete. They can't win. Only I can win.
Okay.
Right? And people carry that into their lives.
Straight up.
Or if you operate on the creative plane, it's like, yo, it's more than enough money to go around for everybody.
Yeah.
You know
Abundance
what I'm saying?
mindset.
It's abundance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's crazy. It's like, if you manifest, you can say, man, you know, I really want a sewing machine, right? And if you manifest that sewing machine, you keep that thought at the forefront of your mind, you make it crystal clear, like you said, man, it could be a sewing machine in Texas right now, you know? And somebody could purchase it online or something like that, and they could be like your next door neighbor or something, you know? They get the sewing machine, and they just like, you know something? Like, I like this sewing machine, but it doesn't quite fit the characteristics of what I'm looking for, you know? They come knock on your door, you know? Hey, listen, I just hate to bother you, but I kind of got this sewing machine, and I don't really have any use for it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to throw it out, but I figured I'd ask you if you wanted it first. Oh, my God.
It's crazy how shit like that works.
Yo.
It's wild.
It happens every single day.
I know it does. It's wild.
You know, I manifested that Range Rover outside. I sure
believe
did.
that. Yeah.
I sure did, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man.
Very cool, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else you got over there?
What else you got over there?
What other
gyms you got over there, you know? Oh, yeah. Here's one I really like, too. Because we talk about this a lot, like the financial spectrum, right? So we hear terms like financial independence, financial security, financial freedom, right? We hear this stuff all the time, you know? And it's just like, yo, like, what is that? You know? Well, I'm going to kind of break it down because I think a lot of people, they hear these different terms, but they don't really know what it means, right? Yeah. So like financial insecurity, that's first. What is that? That's like, yo, I can't even pay my bills. Right. Like, I don't have enough income to meet my lifestyle at all, even in the most basic form, right? And then there's financial security. That's literally just enough to pay the bill. Flatline, right? If you got $2,500 in bills, you got $2,500 in income. Like, that is it.
Hamster wheel,
right?
Man. Yeah.
Hamster wheel. And it's a lot of people that live like that, you know, and they just fortunate. Any mistake, though, anything could just send them, a ripple effect could send them into financial insecurity just like that, right? Yeah. And then there's financial independence. You're not quite at a point where maybe you never have to work again, but you definitely don't have to work as hard, right? You start to have enough money that you can then use that money. The term you hear is use that money, let that money work for you, right? So you now can invest a bit and start to dibble and dabble into those different streams of income, right? You can start to say, oh, let me see if I can get royalty income or dividend income or interest income. You know, you're not just really focused on maybe just earned income. You can start looking at, what if I sell a house and get capital gains or what have you. You can start to look at different areas of income. And then there's financial freedom, right?
That's
the pinnacle right there, right? Financial freedom. I never have to work again. Now, how's that measured though? It's not measured in net worth, right? It's not measured. Oh, so-and-so has X number of net worth. That means absolutely nothing. Yeah. It's measured in time. Like I said, money is measured in time. It's measured in time. What does that mean? Okay, if it costs you $100,000 a year to live, just hypothetically, right? Then how much money do you need to live, to live off of for the rest of your life? So say you're 30 years old and it costs $100,000 for you to live, and actuarially, if you kind of get techie and geeky with it, you say, I'll be 90 years old before I die or something like that. Yeah. So I need, 60 years worth of money, right? You do that times, you got to adjust for inflation and blah, 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 but you do that times 100,000, how much is that? It's not a lot of money, right? Really think about it. Man.
What,
$6 million?
Yeah, right.
It's not a lot of money when you think about it.
Correct.
But that's assuming you kind of say, I'm only going to live at that 100,000. What people do is they end up suffering from lifestyle creep. You know what that is? Yeah, I'm kind of guilty right now with the Gucci, right? It's lifestyle creep, right? It's like unnecessary stuff. I got the fox and the rabbit and everything, right? So sometimes, it's a little bit of lifestyle creep. As you progress and you get in that financial independence phase or whatever, you kind of say, you know what, I'm doing all right. Let me bump it up a little bit. But you got to be careful because you don't want your financial independence to set you back into financial insecurity with your lifestyle creep. You know? So then you hear people say, live below your means, right? Yeah. I know you've heard that term, of course. Yeah. But what are they really saying? What they're saying is give yourself that baseline of financial security and then make your climb. Dope, man. Right? But people don't really understand that when they hear it. But now if you got like some perspective to that, right? Now it's a little easier to say, you know what? I got to get down a little bit so I can get up. Now it makes a little more sense. If you eating those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and eating the ramen noodles, now it make a little more sense. I'm doing this to gain financial security so then I can make my climb up.
Yeah, that's where like I feel like I'm at right now. Like I'm still trying to be as frugal as possible, even though I've seen traction through business and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I still am in that mindset of like, you know, just make sure everything's all in play and like I do get down. I do cut grass. I do flip houses. Absolutely. I do that stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's where like being humbled comes from in like, you know, understanding that at least will get me ahead, hopefully.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and that's the thing, man, like set a goal for yourself, you know, treat yourself like a business, right? You know, say, listen, we got a budget this year, you know, we're not going over budget, right? When you in business for profit, you're not trying to go over budget. Yeah. Now, if you're a not-for-profit, they try to hit the budget, break the budget, bust the budget. You are not a not-for-profit. Right, you know what I mean? You for-profit, no over budget, you know? And, you know, if you continue to do that, then you'll continue to have net revenue, right? And then you can use that to reinvest, and get yourself from a place of financial security to financial independence.
What's been like your best investment when you've seen like a good chunk of change and you were just having some dough to play with? Like what was your like best investment to?
You know, that's a good question. My best investment, well, I'd have to say that I've actually been able to kind of realize so far would be the paralegal services company. Okay. But I have a feeling a couple of the investments that I've made that haven't quite materialized in the sense of me cashing out and then saying, okay, here's my capital gain, here's my windfall. I have a feeling a few of the companies that I'm invested in right now will kind of pay off crazy, you know. Cool. But we talking 3, 4, 5 years out, so you know I'm patient.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. So like even with real estate, like buying properties in like a nice area, yeah, it's gonna take you out for the initial down payment, right. But like over time, that's gonna build, and like you keep
absolutely
busting those payments down. Like when it's all said and done, like that's when you're gonna see the
absolutely. So. And you know, so you purchased real estate, and that's awesome, and I want people to kind of understand too, like you could buy businesses too. Businesses
how does that work?
How does
go ahead with that.
It's not too different from real estate. Right? Cool. So as I explained, even with the paralegal services company I bought, right? When you buy a business, just like buying real estate, like let's say you buy real estate with a tenant in it, right? You buying a money machine.
Straight up.
Right?
Straight up.
When you buy a business, you buy and that's a going concern that has cash flow, right? Yep. You're buying a money machine.
Same difference. Makes sense.
Right? Yeah. And so, you know, the financing comes relatively easy. The banks really aren't so much looking at you. Okay. They're looking at the business that you're purchasing.
Structure of it. Yep.
Right?
Gotcha.
They will kind of make an assessment of you, like, do you have the capacity to be able to you know, run this business such that we can, you know, even if we take a security interest out in your accounts receivable and such, will we be able to get our money back? But here's the thing. You can have these strategic partnerships and credit partnerships with people who maybe have that financial wherewithal or have that good credit or have that good backing, or that, you know, they look good on paper, you know, they have a wonderful executive statement or summary. And so I try to encourage people to like network, man. Build relationships because you know, people can help people. Again, we are interdependent. We are not completely independent or dependent.
Yeah, that's great, man, because that's like one of the reasons I showed up to that networking event that I met you at this time last year, and like that's the purpose of this podcast is to get like people like you on the show and surround yourself with people who are doing better than you and where you want to be, or at least, you know, become friends with those people, so you know That's how it goes, man. Networking is crazy. I partnered up with Demetrius Ellis, and he was my first guest on this show. Oh, wow. Now we're flipping houses together, and like he's like a big mentor in my life, and like, man, like, it's serious.
I mean, when you think about like, you ever did a deal with Hard Money?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So like, when it's hard money, what does hard money really care about?
Interest.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not really trying to look at your personal credit though, and say, oh, your personal credit is extremely terrible, and we're not gonna do this deal. If they look at the deal and the deal makes sense, they giving you the money
straight up. Yep.
Everybody want their money to work for them. When you get to that financial independence and financial freedom point in your life. So it's sort of like, I just want people to understand, like, and you don't have to just do real estate. I think real estate is awesome. I think real estate is great, but like, you can buy businesses too, man.
So how's that process look? Like, you just like see a business that makes sense to you, and like, and you just reach out to the owner, like straight cold call, or like, how does that go down?
Yeah. So I don't prefer the cold call method because it's less personal.
Okay.
And when you're talking about a business, you're talking about potentially someone where it's like, this is my baby. When people start businesses, that's their baby. Like,
straight up.
Would you just walk up to a parent and be like, yo, sell me your kid? They're going to be like, nah, right?
Yeah.
You got to massage that relationship,
Yeah.
Like I said, I went in and I'm throwing money at the employees, like, here's a bonus. So, because you want to massage the relationship such that when you do come on, if that sale goes through, people gonna stay. So it's not a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Sure. That's the part of real estate that's maybe different, right? Because you can assess the numbers, you look at the property, and ultimately, if it makes sense, people gonna sell their property. Yeah. But sometimes when you got a business and it's a money machine, sometimes people might say, nah, not so much. But you can kind of force the deal too. If you want it bad enough, you can force the deal.
Yeah,
you can buy a competitor.
Goes. Yeah.
You can buy a supplier, a vendor of that business, so you could back in your way into buying businesses too. Which is not so much done when it comes to real estate.
Got you. All right, Greg. So that about wraps it up. Where can the viewers find you on Instagram and social media?
Yeah, so you can check me out at the Gregory Salmon on Instagram. I'm Gregory Salmon on Facebook, and you can actually catch me on GregorySalmon.com for my website as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out as well. That's my law firm site, and Earnings and Profits, my coaching site.
And that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you, brother.
Man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Go out there and manifest and succeed.